So this is the print closet. It's a really small room in our basement. All right, welcome to the print closet. Today we're going to print up an order of t-shirts for a disc golf tournament. This is for the Fling It Forward event in Madison, Wisconsin. So we've got our screen right here. That's what the design looks like. And the first thing we're doing is going to swap out screens. So we're going to take this last project here, get this off, put that to the side, and get the new screen on. So this is where we're going to put the ink. We'll put the ink right here. We'll use the squeegee to apply the ink to the shirts. And the next thing we're going to do is add the adhesive. So you can see they're black shirts last time, so you get a little bit of that residue. Using gray shirts today. Oh, I'm messing my camera up here. Everything good? Yeah. All right, so this is, it's a two-sided adhesive. It comes in a roll like this. I've been printing for 2 years now, and this is the same roll. So this stuff lasts a long time. So we'll just get that like that. There's going to be some bubbles, which is just normal. But I usually put it on like that. And grab a large scraper, which I've got tucked over here. Just apply it on like that. Well, then you can pull the other side of the adhesive off. Just like that. Throw that away. Get this roll back in the bag. Back in the box. And back on the shelf. There we go. Well, why don't we open up our box of shirts here. Let's see, can you still see me? Yeah. So this is the box. All the shirts are in here. I think there's about 60. Yeah, here's our order form. And all the quantities are on here also. So what I like to do, so I've got a whiteboard right here. I'll just move the camera over so you can see what I'm doing. Whiteboards are great. You can pick them up at thrift stores all the time. Whenever I see one, I grab one. We've got them in the garage. We use them all the time. But okay, so our order today is small. So we've got one small. Oh, this isn't very clean, is it? Yeah, it'll work. It'll work for what we're doing here. So medium, we've got 9. Large, 24. Oh, I can't even see this. 20 extra large. 7, 2X. 5, 3X. And we've got 1, 4X. Okay. And we also have a blue sweatshirt. That's a different order, but we'll do that at the end. Okay, let's set back up here. Here we go. Got the heat press over here, so we'll turn that on. I've got this chair that I like to drape the shirts over when we get done with them. Set that up right there. So the first thing we got to do is make sure the ink is going through the screen. And this is just an old shirt. It's just a rag. So we always test the screens before we get started, because sometimes it takes a couple pulls to get that ink through. So we're not lining up anything right now. We're just putting fabric down on the board. This is our ink, hot delivery. We're going to be printing blue on gray. We're trying to match. We're trying to match the. Okay, the heat press is ready. We're trying to match the player pack item, which is a metal koozie that has blue ink. So we're trying to match the color scheme there. Where did I put my blade? Oh, there it is. So we got brand new ink. Royal blue. And this is a rapid cure. This cures at 270 degrees. I don't know if you can see it in there. We have the heat press set for 300, which is overkill, but that's fine. So the process was we put the ink on the fabric. That ink needs to cure. We'll do that in the heat press. So it's a two-step process. Let's get our ink open here. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. This is plastisol ink. It's water-based and plastisol, and I use plastisol. All right, take one of these. I'm gonna drop this down. Sometimes you got to stir this. Always do. It's like peanut butter, you know. If you stir up the peanut butter a little bit, it gets a little less stiff. Stir that up a little bit. And just slap some right on the screen there. I'm going to just put this to the side. I've got some ink on my hands. You want to be careful when holding the shirt so you don't get ink on the shirts where you don't want it. So I've got these shop rags. I use them all the time. All right, hands are looking... I do have gloves I wear sometimes, but I've gotten pretty good. So, all right, so we got our squeegee here. So we're going to flood the screen. The way you do that is just bring the ink up over the top. Now we're going to push it through, just like that. And that looks great. All right, so we can go on to our real shirts now. I mean, it's kind of blue on blue. But that's the design. So we can save this for another tester later. This blue sweatshirt we'll put to the side. And we're ready to do the first shirt. So right on top of the box, we've got 4X. So we're starting with our big shirt. Put that right on there. And you want to line up, there's a hem right here on all t-shirts. And you want to line that up at the very top. So this hem is right on top of that board there. You want both sides to be even. And so you see where the collar is here. This is going to change distances as you go through the different sizes. You want to be about 3 to 4 inches from the top of the design that's on the screen to the top of that collar right there. So we'll bring this down. Yeah, that's way off, so we have to adjust our board here. And there's bolts underneath here, so I can move this board up and down like that. Yeah, and that's about 4 inches right there. So we'll screw those back in, get those locked down, and we're live. Okay, this is the first one. This is a real shirt. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. That looks awesome. Okay. Now we pull it off. And I always cross my arms first. Pull this off, and then you can flip it around and then put it on the heat press. But I'm going to show you what it looks like. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so then bring it over here. Put that down in the heat press. We've got a piece of Teflon. Nothing sticks to this. And you don't want to get ink here. You don't want to get ink on the top, on your hot part here. So that's why you put the Teflon film down, just like that. And this is on a 60-second timer. I'll show you here. So that's at 296 degrees. We're counting down. Once that gets to 0, the ink is cured, and then you're done. That shirt's done. So while that's happening, of course, you can just go to the next one. And now we've got 3X. So every time you have a new size, you need to adjust your board. The hems look good. We're even. You want the same distance from the edge of the board to where the sleeve starts. So check that on both sides. All right, so we're done over here. Tough one to the side. Our 4X is done. All right, since there's only one of these, I'm going to fold it up, put it on the chair. And now we need to adjust our board for the 3Xs. And yeah, we'll have to move it quite a bit. That's pretty good. So now we're going to tighten up our screws. All right. All right, 3X. Okay, so we just had an accident. The squeegee fell on the ink, which is awful. So let's clean that up. So when stuff like this happens, just do it once over to get the globs off. And then do it one more time to really clean it. There we go. No big deal. I do have some on my fingers though still. All right. Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna, I usually hold it right here with my left hand like this, just above the board, just above the shirt there. Flood the screen. There we go. Bring it off. Put that down there. Teflon. Now a new 60 seconds will start. And I could usually get the shirts, get the ink onto shirts, usually like 30 seconds. So you're kind of sitting around for 30 seconds a lot. All right, that looks good. That looks good. Let's double check our distance. 3.5 inches. That's right where you want it. Do another one. Looks awesome. Looks great. So we've got our 1/4x done. So I'm going to check that off. I should tilt this so you can see me a little better. On the whiteboard, I just put a check. So we're done with 4x. That makes you kind of feel good when you check off something off the list. I like to keep things pretty organized. So we've got 5 of these 3x shirts. Here's the first one. Just put it over the chair like that. Yeah, I'll put it a little bit so you can see it maybe. There you go. Just over like that. Now we got our next one. Pull it up. Pull it off, put it on. All right, so let me show you what I'm doing over here on the heat press. Let's move the camera. That's pretty close. All right. All right, so we're putting the shirt down like this. Make sure to get it flat. There's no wrinkles. Oh, we got a little wrinkle right here. So let's pull up from underneath. All right, so that's flat, no wrinkles. Put that Teflon sheet down. That locks into place. I'll show you this again too. Yeah, maybe that's a better angle. Yeah, we can do all the angles. All right, there you go. Oh, looks pretty even. All right, that's smooth. Let's double check again. No, those might need to be tightened up. Okay, we're on 3 inches there. Let's bring the collar up just a little bit. We're flooding. Okay, so I've got this infrared thermometer laser gun. Let's see if I can show what I'm doing here. So when we pulled that off, that was higher than 270, and that's our goal. Even though the press is set at 300, we just need to be above 270. So I check that every once in a while, not every time. So this is the print closet. It's a really small room in our basement. So I've got these standing desks. I got these at Goodwill. They're about, they come up to my ribs. And I've got the print board on there. So instead of bending over, you really want to save your back. I do anyway. But the setup's pretty good. Yeah, we can double check our distance here. 3.5 inches. Okay, so now we're on 3X shirt number 5, which will be all of them. And we'll see how they packed them up from the warehouse. I don't know if we're going 2X next or what. All right, what size we got next? 2X, how about that? 2X, we got 7 of them. So I'm just laying these down right here on top of the box. Pull one off. Now we got a new size, so we might have to readjust. Bring your tape measure down like that. Yeah, we gotta bring it in a little bit. All right, that's at 3.5. So we'll tighten up the board here. That looks good. Still looking good. Fling it forward. 9 Springs, Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Birdie House Series #1. All right, and we do have our 5 3Xs complete, so we're going to check that off the board. And now we're up to size 2X. So to keep all the sizes together, you don't want to mix them up. I like to double count, double check anyway. All right, 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay, they're all here. So I just take them all together like that. And fold them like that. Plop those down on the chair. And we'll start making a new pile for our new size, which is 2X. The last one we did was for another disc golf tournament, the first dance doubles. We had this crane theme. This was a Mad City Open fundraiser out at Bird's Ruins, another disc golf course in the area. But now that that order's done, I can reclaim that screen. Like all this blue stuff is just emulsion, photosensitive emulsion. And I'll be able to apply an emulsion remover. And that just sits on there for 5 minutes. I take it to the car wash and just use their high pressure system to reclaim the screen. I'll show you that in another video. Which is nice because you don't want to have these just be one time because I think they're 40 or 50 bucks each. So you want it to last. Oh, that keeps coming down. So the screen keeps slapping down. I think what's going on is it's not adjusted properly. Or it's not, how do you say? It needs more tension. So I'm going to take this off here, screw this down a little bit. Let's do that on the other side too. Just take it off the hook, adjust that a little bit. Yeah, that seems to be staying a lot better now. All right, so this is a 2X. This should be the last of the 2X. We'll put this on the press, then we're going to count those up. All of them together. Pull these up. So when people come to pick up their shirts, you say, what size? They say, I'm size XL. You're like, that's that pile. Let me get it for you. Instead of having one large pile and you gotta dig through them all. Makes sense to organize things. Let's double check our hollow length, 3.5 inches. That's great. Ooh, I got stuck right there. So let's see how this looks. It's fine. So when I'm doing the squeegee, I'm not coming at a total right angle down. I'm kind of leading with this my right side. Not much, but a little bit. Sometimes you get stuck, but if you lead with one side, it seems to go a little smoother. Okay, I guess we've got 66 total shirts. And you'd think, if the heat press was taking 1 minute, you could whip them out in about a minute. But it always seems to take longer than that. And we're not doing backs today. So this is just 66 swipes. That's it. If you got to do the back, say you sold some sponsorship space or any design on the back. It's double the swipes. These are nice shirts too. We're using this Gildan soft style. They're soft cotton shirts. I don't know if they're 100% cotton. They're not 100%. They're really nice though. So I've got this tape. If you watch some other videos, or if you've ever been to a print shop, a lot of times you'll use this kind of tape. It's to do the edges, the edges of your screen. Tape that up so ink doesn't get through. You don't want it on your garment coming through. I've found that I'm pretty clean, and I found it's just a waste. I just don't do it anymore. So there are some gaps, in the screen that ink could go through, but I keep it away from that area. So I'm not saying that's a bad idea. I'm just saying that I don't feel like it's necessary. I'm also just a one-man operation in my basement closet print shop here. So I'm the only one using that screen, It's not like someone else is coming in and doing 100 shirts on it, and then another guy comes in and does 100 shirts. It's just me. You should always take a lot of breaks. It's good for the mind. And don't be in a hurry. Slow down, take breaks, live your life, enjoy yourself. Whoa. Oh, see, I was going too fast. And now I gotta clean my squeegee again. Waste makes waste. Okay, we got a shop rag here. Remember, it's a two-step process. You're getting the glops off first, and then you're gonna really clean it. Ah, what a mess. That's okay. That's okay. Reminders, slow down, slow down. Enjoy yourself. All right, that's okay. Right now, we're gonna double check our hands because we're gonna touch fabric here. We're doing great on ink. Now this is the least amount you can buy. I think it's 8 ounces. But that's a color we'll use again. I'll turn the camera here. You can see this is kind of some of the ink that we've used in other projects here. All right, this is the last one before break time. This will put us at what, 12, 24, 25? Almost halfway. Which means we'll be able to take at least 3 or 4 more breaks. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Perfect. Okay. So we'll get these all staged and ready for when we return. So the way we make the screens is a whole process in itself, and I'll show you that in another video. But this is photosensitive emulsion, the blue coating that's on the screen. So that emulsion is a liquid, and you apply that to the screen with a scoop coater, which is what this is. Coat the screen and keep that in a dark place until it dries. Then you take a transparency, you get your design, print that off onto a transparency, and then you flash it. And what that means is you put light, you put the transparency down on the screen, and I put a piece of glass over it so the transparency doesn't move, and then you flash it with light. That process takes about 10 minutes. And then you need to wash it out. And I've got I just do that in my bathroom in the shower. I've got a nozzle, handheld nozzle, and you just spray cold water over it. And the part that was not exposed to the light, that was covered up by the print, washes out. And the rest of the emulsion hardens. It's quite the process. It's fascinating. But that's for another video. Today's production. Today's a Thursday. These shirts need to be done by Saturday. Maybe cutting a little close. But I've done this so much that I'm confident that it's working, and it is working. All right, we're almost getting to where we need to apply more ink. And I really like to time this so we're out of ink on the last shirt, because cleaning up the screen that's a whole process also. And we're about halfway done. So I'll just apply the same amount of ink I did the first time, and hopefully we'll get it right. I'm pretty good. We'll see. Large is generally going to be the size that's most common with any of your orders. Anyway, 24 large. Second most is XL with 20. So let's try to get through all the larges, all 24, before we take another break. And that leaves us with just 10. The 1 small, the 9 mediums, and then we also have a sweatshirt to do, which is a whole nother screen. And it's a screen I haven't used in a while, so I don't even know if it'll work. We'll see. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do the small. Let's just get this one out of the way. It's just kind of floating in there by itself, and I want to put the shirts that are done back in the box. All right, we're definitely going to have to adjust this now. Let's see here. Oh my, we don't have to adjust it. Wow. Okay. It's 3.5 inches. All right, we got our 1 small. All right, so this is all 20 of our XLs, the extra large. These are done. They're going to go back in the box. Put them right in the bottom. And the mediums we'll put back right there like that. And these are the larges. So let's tackle the larges. You can see that after you do, what are we up to, about 30 shirts, the adhesive doesn't stick as much, but it does stick enough. I'm not fighting the shirt when I'm pulling it off. It does stick enough. So that's good. I actually like it better after you've run 20 or so shirts, because you don't have to fight it. All right, pulling from the side. No, we're still doing good. Maybe 3 more pulls until we have to add more ink. I could just add it right now, I suppose. All right, I'd rather add more ink twice than have to clean up a big mess when we get done. So I'll just put a little bit on. Fling it forward. So Saturday night is daylight savings time, so we're turning the clocks forward. So that's why this tournament's called Fling It Forward. It's like fling it like a frisbee, but you're flinging your clock forward. It's the best we could come up with. And we've got an owl in the design. The brand is Birdie House. So we always try to put a bird of some kind. Well, I'm wearing a Birdie House shirt. This is our Birdie House logo. We always try to put a bird of some kind in the designs. And if you wonder what Birdie House is, This is disc golf, so that's where the birdies live. They live in the birdie house. Okay, this is number 12 for the larges, which means we're halfway there. We've got 24 larges to do total. So it's nice to have checkpoints along the way. I'm just going to charge through these, and then once we're done with the larges, we'll take a break, and that will leave us with just 9 mediums to go. And then we have to clean the screen, and we have to print out the sweatshirt, which is a different screen altogether, which I don't even know if it's going to work. But we'll save that for last. The reason why I'm not sure if it's going to work is because I haven't used that screen in a long time. In fact, this is designed. This is the same screen we used to make these maybe a year ago. So that ink has been resting in that screen, in that mesh, for a year. So we might have to do some swipes to get that old ink out. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to play out. Printing on t-shirts is much easier than printing on sweatshirts. For whatever reason. Sweatshirts are bulky. They are kind of a pain to put in the heat press. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but they have the hood. T-shirts are just really easy, I guess, that's all. What do we got here? Oh. Unopened emulsion. So I don't use this kind of emulsion anymore. This is a 2-part mix. This is DC blue. So you would fill this up with water, and there's some kind of chemical in here, and you mix it in to create the emulsion that you put on the screen. I don't really like that stuff. What I do like is the chroma blue. This is where it's at. They're not big fans of penguins. I think this just means don't freeze. But that's stuff you don't have to mix. And I got that from a different company. But this it's the best. So after you flash your screen and you're trying to clean the screen out in the shower, with your spray head, this chroma blue just comes out perfectly. And I just had some issues with the other one, where it wouldn't always come out. Like one part would come out, and then the other one part would come out, and it'd take a little bit longer for something else. I don't know if it's with the mixture. Anyway, the chroma blue, thumbs up. It's awesome. So next time we have a project, I'll make a video on, well, one coating the screen. That's a whole step. And then flashing the screen, that's a whole step. So there's 2 processes to go through to get the screen ready for production for today. Anyway, I have the DC blue because if I run out of chroma and I'm going to have an emergency, I still have an option. But I should probably order some new chroma blue here in the next month or so. All right, we might have to apply a little more ink eventually. We're doing good. Remember, the goal is to run out of ink on the last shirt. All right, we've got 1 more large to go. And then we'll take a break. And then we'll come back. We've got 9 mediums and just the 1 sweatshirt with the other screen. So we're doing great. We're doing great. All right, and we'll do 1 medium while our last large is curing. Okay, so this is our 24 larges. I'm gonna fold these up. We'll just place them on the chair like that. We're rounding the corner here toward the finish line. 9 medium shirts to go. And keep in mind, we're trying to use up all the ink on the last pull. So our larges are done. We'll check them off the board. 3. Let's pull it just a little bit. That should be about 3.5 then. All right, we're doing good. We're running low on ink. I think we're going to time it perfectly. That's great. So when I order shirts, sometimes I'll order an extra large, or a couple extra larges. Sometimes I make a mistake. I maybe shouldn't say this because I haven't made any mistakes yet. But sometimes you have to ditch a shirt. And I learned the hard way, I never buy shirts expecting to sell them when they're not already sold. So all these shirts are already sold. The last thing you want is to sit around with inventory that isn't sold. You spent money on these shirts and no one's going to buy them. They just take up space in your house. So you want to do pre-orders. In this case, these are for an event, and all the people have already paid for these shirts. All right, we got 2 more to go. There's plenty of ink on here still. That's good. 2 to go. 2 to go. It's right on 3 inches. Move it up just a little bit to bring it down. Should be 3.5. Okay, this is the last one. There we go. I did pretty well with the ink. Let me show you how much I've got left. That's not too bad. We've got a little bit of cleanup. And we're going to do that right now. I'll show you the process. Okay, so we're done with this screen. So we're going to clean the screen, and then we can reclaim it. I'll take it to the car wash, and I'll show you that process in another video. But we have no use for this stencil anymore. And we did great. We didn't mess any of them up, which is crazy because I always mess at least one up. So we want to clean the squeegee off. Because for the sweatshirt, I think we're going to use white ink. And this blue, that blue, it's such a great color. It's a great color. Make sure this. Yeah, for squeegee cleaning, shop towel, shop rag, what do we call these? That's all you need. But you can see how used that is, I've only had this one for 2 years, so they last a long time. I'm not an everyday production shop. This is more just a basement side hustle kind of thing. But that's ready to go for the next color pink, which is going to be white. And we're going to do that right now. So this ink does not dry. That's why you have to cure it. And sometimes when I have a really big job, I'll just leave the screen like this and walk off because I'm sick of it. And I always hate myself when I come back to do the next project, and I'm like, man, I got to clean like today. I have to clean the screen. So it's good practice just to do it when you get done. Just make that part of your routine. And I usually do that. But I didn't do it the last time. So what you want to do, let's see. Let's move this so you can really see this. Yeah, we'll just point this right down like that. You see all those globs? I just take the shop towel and smear it. Get it, just do the best you can, you know. So that noise is the screen is sticking to that adhesive. You see, that's what you got there. So you want to do that until all the inkiness is gone. Yeah, that's gonna not work. All right, you get it. Let's move it back here so we're not so shaky. So just keep rubbing it. When I got it done to that point, you want to spray some plastisol. So this is the plastisol screen wash, and that will really take. You'll be able to remove the rest of the ink that way. And it just comes right up. Okay, so we're good there. We're gonna remove it because we have to put it on the next screen. Because remember, we've got one sweatshirt to go. So there's our screen. We could still use this so many times, but this is a one-time event. We're done.